When we left off, it was about 1 o'clock in the morning, and you were waking up from a long rest in the village of Ramsbottom. And Sullivan's dispelling of the curse upon this land, upon this island village,
Wow.
was very loud and very sort of emphatic and blasted out a section of the wall. The village elders sort of comes rushing over, and this was the last of it.
Yes, I believe it is now all gone from the village.
Has Sullivan completely obliterated the room? There's nothing left?
No, just a small area
Okay.
of stone at the wall, that's it. Where the rune was.
We should probably copy.
You can't anymore. It's been blasted to pieces by remove curse.
That's what I just asked.
So he looks at you and, we are forever in your debt. Please.
Oh, please. I did this for you. We don't... Any of us expect anything in return.
No, and so you have stated, and you've been very gracious, but please do not feel guilt in taking that which we offer freely. We are very grateful. You have turned around the prospects of this village. Ramsbottom has never really mattered to anyone other than those that live there. For a strong and powerful group like yourselves to come along and rescue us.
Is what we do.
Hunt the shadows.
Thank you.
Mission accomplished.
Time to retire.
Are you headed back to Van Hania, guys?
Yeah, Van Hania, so we can use the teleporter there. We should probably
Okay.
also tell someone about this.
Report to Anne.
Well, we'll report back to him about this one. As you make your way back along the road to Van Hania, I will take a D100 from... Who stole my cards?
Me. It was me, Barry.
It was your cat.
What's she doing? Rolling D100s
It
to
was
see what her
me,
D&D
Barry.
party do. Oh, hold on. Are those the Beldania cards? That's not good.
Yeah, let's use those.
Yeah, they're designed for level 1 to 4s. That'll go real well. With minor powers as well, as they all started understated. Did I say someone's name yet?
No.
Josh, roll me a D100.
Never pick the non-cambered people.
That's the...
No, you're right, I don't. I just look to the right, I see a person and say something.
I got an 81.
An
which is quite high.
81. That is quite high. I think they get worse as you get to higher numbers, because I was running out of
I'm
ideas
so
by
glad
the time I got to
got
50.
an 81 then.
Well, I started to run out of ideas, you know. There's only so many
Is
ideas.
this when we
in
get the
everything.
nonsensical one?
No.
Another
oh.
sticky marble?
Yeah. An army of
stickier.
sticky
Okay.
marbles.
You've had that before. Novanius isn't here again.
Do you want me to
Can
roll
we, you may either roll again, or you may, if you choose, add or subtract 1.
Ooh.
Let's go for a solid 80.
Yeah, let's gamble.
80 and 81 half to the same number.
You said minus.
Oh, I
one
see what you
and
mean. Yeah,
one,
okay, so you're
sorry.
minusing 1. Sorry, I see what you
You
mean.
said
Yeah,
minus 1.
you're minusing 1 to the card number, not to the... Yes, okay,
Yeah.
cool, that's fine.
So 100 minus.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah. Okay. Traveling in the late at night, there is a man approaching you. He has 3 dogs on leashes. At least at first you think they're dogs, but as they get closer, Fox will swiftly tell you that's no fucking dog. They are
That's no
wolves. They
fucking
are
dog.
large wolves. He has 3 wolves on leashes that do not appear strong enough to even hold the animals. And he's pushing like a wheelbarrow with just one hand. It's got a single sort of stick that comes out the back of it, and he's just wheeling it along in front of him. And as he sees you, he sort of gives a little wave, lifting the leashes as he does, and good night and good eve.
Good morning.
It is none of those things. It is the most beautiful time of day, in fact. It is rare to see travelers who prefer to walk under the stars. Welcome.
Wednesday.
We had an early night.
I see. or an early morning, depending on how one sees it. Your call of good morning makes more sense. And to where might you be travelling, or travelling from, if I might ask?
We're heading back to Vahania.
Ah, you've come from the west. Is there any trouble on the road?
Not
it
as
be?
of this moment, no.
Wonderful,
You should
good
be
news.
safe.
I fear not for my safety, but only for my sanity. Peace is hard to come by in Sogravia these days.
Yes, well, I'm sure you're... are they dire wolves or just regular wolves?
They're very big wolves. You don't think they're dire wolves, but you're not sure.
I'm sure your wolves... play it safe. I'm sure your wolves will keep you very safe and company.
Oh, they're not very good fighters, though they're great friends.
Do they look well behaved on the leash? They're not fighting it or anything?
They look absurdly well behaved, almost unnaturally
Aw.
well behaved.
Like magically well behaved.
Maybe.
What's in the wheelbarrow, or is it just empty?
It is covered with a cloth. Do you ask him?
Yeah, I'll say.
Where's he
What
going?
you doing around this time of night?
Well, the night is my preferred time to travel, but I sell scrolls and the like. Ancient treaties, unusual information, and scrolls of magical spells.
Magic man, are you
Can we
interested
see
in
what
all
you
of it?
have?
Well, of course, my selection is vast and varied. Is there anything in particular that might interest you?
I don't
By
know,
this, I do not mean...
Jamal?
By this, hold on. Sorry, let me just finish what I'm saying. By this, I don't mean please list the spell you're interested in. I more just meant, like, are you interested in wizard spells? Are you interested in druid spells, cleric spells? Or are you interested in the ancient treaties or histories or other things that he might have?
I am curious of the treaties. Do they... are they talking about, like, different countries? Or do they speak about factions?
He sort of reaches in and he pulls out a certain section. And he says, well, these are the histories of Sogravia themselves. Some of them are a little outdated and irrelevant now. This is the founding of the Dawn Guard. That there's one of the agreements with the temples of the Asimar. I believe that's the treaty made with dragons. That's long since passed. Dragons haven't been seen in this land for hundreds of years. This is a treaty on the language of dwarves. So I think you are seeing treaty as like an agreement between two factions, Josh, as opposed to treaties like this, which literally means a text pertaining to the nature of.
Oh, I see.
So there's texts on dragons, on demons, on
Well, in that case,
languages. Most languages there are scrolls about them.
No, you go ahead. Finish it up.
do you have anything? I mean, I know that you just used one as an example, but could I see some of the writings on the other factions? Maybe they could help.
I have one here on the founding of the Dawn Guard. This here is a treaty with the Asimar Temple. They've been non-existent for the last 300 years, unless you believe that they transitioned into the Furian Guard. That's debated among some scholars.
Do you have anything on the Furian Guard?
Only that.
Okay, I'd like to take both of those. Do you have
Okay.
anything on the Mage's Arcane?
No. The Mage's Arcane long predates the written script, and none of my scrolls are that old. That being said, this is an agreement that was made regarding the exact borders of Sogravia. The Mage's Arcane placed them, if that's of interest.
Yeah, could I have those three, please?
Yep, okay. This one's 7 gold, this one's 26 gold, and this one is 150.
I'll call it an even 200.
Very well. You bargain
Just
swiftly.
Pay. It's just
Yep.
easier.
Some of those do seem interesting. I'd like to have a read of those as well, if you don't mind, Simon.
We'll pass them out next session, or in the week between sessions, as they're full
So
texts.
just to double check, Sogravia is the name of the right? It's not
Country.
the country in.
Listras.
So just trying to think about.
Okay, so this here is a map of Sogravia, with the border marked out along here. So this is where Sogravia ends. No, sorry,
Okay.
the black line.
The black lines were Sogravia.
Yep.
Okay.
Listras is this one.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. Dead dude. Does he have anything on Listras?
I have some outdated texts on agreements between different lands that no longer exist. I do also have a map, but it is expensive.
What does
Why?
expensive mean?
It is a map of the lands of Galgoria and Lagon, and Illis Navaston, but it has been made by the scouts, the Knights Venture, since the coming of the Shadowhunters. It is sparse,
Damn,
but I believe it is one of very few maps that has been made of Shadowhunters lands.
Wow.
So it's of Legion and Galgoria?
Lagon over here, Galgoria and Illis Navaston. They're known as the Southlands.
Well, I don't think we're going there.
You don't really know where you're going, you just know you're going to Shadowhunters lands.
Yeah. I think it would
okay.
probably be
Could be
worthwhile to
useful.
get.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you think you're crossing over into Australia first, because that's standardly the only border you can get into without passing through a fortress. But beyond
Yeah,
that, you know.
How much is expensive?
I would be fairly unwilling to trade this for gold. If you had something perhaps of equal interest or value, I would
Jeez.
prefer that.
We have a robot named Nye.
Perhaps
Nice.
he's
worthless.
in the way he says this. He's perhaps more willing to trade for gems, if not like you could either
Oh,
trade
yeah,
gems
that.
or you could trade like magical items that you don't have any interest in, or you know like
We have
something that
time.
might interest. you.
Wait, what about a corrupted Balefire staff? Are you interested in that?
How would you like this
That's
corrupted
tough.
staff?
Corrupt, did you say? Could I take a look at it?
Yeah, I'll reach into the bag of holding and pull out the staff that's been in there since like session 3.
He sort of
It's just
runs
too
his fingers down
spooky.
to an evil object, but a powerful one nonetheless. Yes, this is a worthy trade.
Oh, loves it.
Hell
I'll
yeah.
trade you that. Just a heads up, that's about 5,000 gold pieces that staff is worth, so do be aware that that's what you're giving away.
Okay.
Seems fair.
Cool, okay. Crafted Belfast staff out. I'm going to have to give that out in another campaign where it's more appropriate for people to use it. Because it's a really cool weapon, it's just not suitable to any of your
No, it
characters.
is. It is super cool. I always read whenever we need anything. I'm just like I always look over it. I'm like, this has to be useful somehow, but it doesn't make sense for any of our characters to use
It'll
it.
make you very powerful. One moment, please. Good.
Stock stood in the
Yeah,
chain.
we're good. Okay, cool. No. This was a stream issue. Cool. So he will trade you that. I have in the Discord posted the prices for spells.
Oh, wow.
20 gold for a cantrip, 40 gold for a level 1 spell, 80 for a level 2, 250 for a 3, 500 for a 4, 1,000 for a 5, 2,000 for a 6, and then he has a list of 7, 8, and 9 spells. Sorry, that's not quite right. Ignore the spell learning thing, just look at the scrolls, and then the prices on the right-hand side as well. So 20, 30, 60, 80, 140, 200, 400, 800, 700, 1,000, etc. Ignore the spell learning section, it's from an old campaign.
Who's gonna step forward?
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna ask the dude. You said you have stuff on languages?
I do. I have various languages here. This is the Giant Tongue, Goblin, Orcish, Primordial, specifically Infernal, Abyssal. That's Celestial, but it's not complete. And then he sort of puts another one. Corin. Did you have a specific language in mind?
Yes,
He seemed very
Goblin.
pleased, as he's the only Corin scroll that he knows of. Goblin. Yes. Wonderfully interesting creatures if you take the time to get to know them. And he pulls it out, and it looks like it's been written by a child in crayon. But yes,
to speak Gobbo.
it is specifically their alphabet, the fundamentals of their language and grammar, and pronunciation. This will not make you fluent in Goblin, but it will give you the ability to communicate with them. And more specifically, it's going to aid you in reading things that are written in Goblin. Goblins don't write very often, so...
Right.
Okay.
I'm also going to ask
3 gold pieces for that.
Yeah, we'll give 3 gold.
Mm-hmm.
Have some history stuff.
I have lots of history stuff, young kobold.
I've gotten more powerful over time, and I don't know where it came from. Do you have anything about sorcerers?
The magic of sorcerers is something you'd have to seek in the Magus Arcane, but perhaps the magic of dragons might be of interest to you.
What does a dragon have to do with a sorcerer?
Many say that magic is passed down from dragons to dragonborns and kobolds alike. Perhaps that could be the source of your magic. Though I am no expert and no wizard.
This is a complete revelation for Obi because he has no clue where his magic comes from. So.
Yep. He thinks that it might have something to do with draconic bloodlines, and he will offer you that scroll for 17 gold pieces. I've just realised that you got really lucky there and roundly got a 20 gold sale.
I will give the 20 gold for both.
Okay. And he starts to have a look through his other texts. There are a few other random books if anybody is of interest. If not, does anybody need any scrolls or anything?
Yeah, I would like to see if he's got a spell scroll with Preserve Decay.
Preserve Decay. What's the spell level?
First.
Yes.
Okay. I'd definitely like to pick up a copy of that.
Okay.
Oh, good thinking.
You probably see the prices more easily than I do. Because they're in Discord. 30 gold pieces.
Yeah, I'll definitely be taking that. I'm still looking through my 3 spells in a minute, see if there's any in particular.
If you want to do it in retrospect, it wouldn't really annoy me all that much.
Right, wonderful, thank you. Yeah, can I do it in retrospect? That'd be great.
Absolutely fine.
But I'll go ahead and remove 30 gold and take Preserve Decay right now.
Okay. Does anybody have facial hair?
I used to.
He doesn't ask. I'm asking as the DM. Nobody has facial hair? Okay, so he won't offer you that.
No, Sullivan's clean.
In real life?
Uh,
Do you mean this book? I pull out this Harry Froley's follicle guide.
Oh, you have the Froley's Guide to Follicle Perfection? Wait, have we had this encounter before?
No, we got it from, I think someone from Centerpoint bought it.
Oh, okay. We use the same table. Callum, he will sort of eye up Sid and say, I don't mean to be presumptuous, but perhaps this might interest you. He will offer you Malleus Metallius, a layman's guide to metallurgy.
Whoa.
The tome itself has been bound in iron plates, giving the sense that it could take a real beating if needed.
Oh, cool book.
The book's so bad, it's made of metals.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. If you have anything else.
He will offer you that for 30 gold pieces.
I'll take that and one of those language tomes on Dwarvish.
Yes. I have an actual tome of Dwarvish. It is literally
delightful.
a dictionary. You can teach yourself the language from it if you wish.
Delightful, delightful. This is Callum's one of his great regrets. He's never learned Dwarvish. So, yeah.
Okay.
How much will that one be?
Language books are... Oh, where have I put those? Sorry, I put them in a completely different section, I think. 200. Round 200.
Damn.
Well, you weren't going to learn a language from it, so...
I'm going to have to dip into the party funds. I'm sure you guys understand. This is very important.
Sure, Grandpa.
We will see you get the book and we'll start talking
Thank
to
you.
you in Dwarvish.
Can anyone else speak Dwarvish?
Obi can.
Oh, Obi, you're going to be my my conversation practice then.
If you are interested
the
in...
ways.
If you're interested in languages, the process could be sped up by this wondrous tome, and instead of reaching into the wheelbarrow, he reaches into his own pocket. This is learning languages. And you will see that the name of the author written on it is Chomsky the Gnome. This gentleman is a gnome. Given his bashfulness all of a sudden, you think maybe he wrote it.
You don't
Obi
say.
who's-
Have I...
Go on.
has he written any other books that I've heard of?
This is my first book. I like to think of myself as a master of languages in a quick study.
Wow. I will
This
gladly
guy
purchase
just-
his book.
So this is a book detailing the general process of learning a language, both from a practical and theoretical angle, written by a talented linguist called Chomsky the Gnome. That's this guy. And it's called Learning Languages.
Chomsky.
Yes. So it allows any natural speaker of a language to be considered an instructor of that language, and also allows you to learn any language in half the amount of time it would normally take. So a reminder that learning a language takes 14 days of persistent study. This could be reduced to 7 with this wondrous book. That is also 200 gold pieces. Good luck. Party fund.
Well,
I think the
guys,
party
this
fund has
is just
quite a lot of money in it,
really,
to be
really
fair.
important.
It has 44,256 gold. I think you're all right.
You guys won't notice this.
No one notices. You even can take it from the
Grandpa,
copper
what are you
pieces.
doing?
Just adjusting my abacus a little bit.
Callum.
Yes.
Callum,
Yes.
can you share that book with me sometimes as my special skill up when we started the campaign was well read.
Was what?
Well read. Oh, that's cool.
Being able to learn languages.
Ah.
Oh, so using that book, you get it down to
Absolutely,
3 days a language.
Oh my god.
That's actually pretty nuts. You will need
so-
an instructor or a relevant tome
I'm gonna
to be able to
learning
use
from
it.
Opie.
Let's buy all
Yeah.
of the languages and teach the OB every single language that exists.
Whenever we get another whenever we get the next feat, I've already decided I'm taking a linguist too.
Cool.
Oh my goodness.
Just a random note. I thought you guys might enjoy this. It's not available from this guy, but there is a book of prophecies here. It's worth 1,500 gold pieces. Every single prophecy turned out to be true. The last of them became true 5 days ago. So
What happened 5 days ago?
it's just a history book because all the prophecies came true prior to the book being read by you. I just thought it was a really silly and fun item. But I'm not going to waste 1,500 gold pieces of yours finding out that everything did come true in the past.
Yeah.
Is there... What do we know about the language that the Shadowville use?
You know almost nothing. You know that the language has been studied by linguists and that people have tried using both tongues and comprehend languages to understand it and failed using both. The language appears not to derive from any form of regular tongue, e.g. it is, sorry for the phone, not written in a derivative of Elvish or Dwarven or anything like that, or even Gnomish script or whatever. It is instead written a series of symbols, none of which seem to translate. The Shadowville language itself is very guttural. Though it has inflections somewhat similar to Undercommon.
Oh.
Even pronouncing it is very hard for non...
Does he have
non-drow.
a tome regarding Undercommon?
He does have that, yes. That's 200 gold pieces for the Dictionary of Undercommon.
Is that the Drow language?
It is indeed the Drow language.
Perfect.
But he will also tell you that he knows of another gentleman who resides in the Magus Arcane in Carthan. He believes that he is the foremost scholar on the Shadowvale language. And his
You don't say.
name is in a different
Fred.
document. Bear with.
Harold.
It's none of those. Please bear with.
One of these days, I'm gonna be right.
His name is Mezanon. No, that's the wrong person. He has a magic shop in Jestern.
Oh, we should go visit him.
Wrong box. Bear with.
There's a bear?
Oh, that's where we're going anyway.
Yes. Sorry, I have a whole thing on No, we've had Oddfink already. We've met Oddfink.
That's why I come up with names on the spot.
Yeah, but then you ask me what they are in 3 days' time, and I won't have the information, right? So that's the problem.
Yeah, that's my player's fault, though. You didn't write it down.
His name is Yanrick. Here we go. I knew I had it somewhere. He's a prominent scholar on languages, but specifically studies the Shadowvale. He not only studies their language, but also studies the nature of their magic.
That seems very relevant.
He has been consulted on multiple times by Archmage Rialdan on the nature of dark stones. So he might be worth a visit for you.
Talk to him.
Yeah. But he will sell you the Tome of Undercommon for 200 gold pieces.
I will dip into party funds and buy that.
Yeah. Books,
Everyone's just dipping into
books.
Yeah, I mean, I think the personal gold is only for like buying drinks, giving to random commoners, that sort of thing. Everything else gets bought from the common cause, right? Obi, you good?
That's why I'm so broke.
Sullivan, do you? I know he said that his scroll of Celestial wasn't complete, but do you speak Celestial, Sullivan?
Sullivan?
Sullivan.
He only speaks Goblin.
He only speaks Goblin.
I have you know that I also pick Sylvan now.
That was given to us. You didn't pick it.
No, I don't. I mean, Sullivan's not religious or godly in any way, so he's not. Celestials are not his thing.
Yeah.
Maybe if you got to know
Fox!
him, you'd know that.
Fox, do you speak Celestial?
Yeah.
Yeah, those two both speak it. I think so.
I'm
Yeah,
a Starborn.
So do I.
Oh, three. No, of course you do.
Sullivan at all.
No, wait. No, I'm saying of course you do. Yes, I'm saying of course you do because Karina is an Asima, which has no relevance in this situation.
Who's that?
I don't, who is that?
Does he have one for Infernal or Abyssal?
Yes, he read out both of those in his various languages.
No,
he does ask you.
evil languages.
Do you mean are you looking for Infernal or Ignan? Do you wish to speak to creatures of fire elementals or creatures of the Nine Hells?
The Nine Hells specifically.
Hells.
He sort of looks you up and down, and I can see that.
He was devil armor.
Listen.
You already
He's
speak
trying to go back
Abyssal
home.
while wearing that language. While wearing that language, yeah. While wearing that language, you can speak it.
incredible. Nice.
While wearing that armor.
Yeah.
But yes, he has treaties on both. They are not complete. They are dictionaries. They're not dictionaries. They are similar to the Goblin one. One is 17 and one is 6 gold pieces. They include the alphabet, the very basics of the language and grammar, and some of the written symbols.
Yeah, my plan with the Abyssal Scroll is that since I already know how to speak it with the armor on, in combination with the tome, teach it to myself so that way I can speak it without the armor.
I see.
You remove the armor?
Not yet.
Well, because one day I want to take it off because you know,
do?
there is a
Nice try.
there is a downside to the armor that I don't want. But
One day you'll
really
take it off and
You're evil.
realize you're a demon inside.
Yeah.
No one will let me live that down.
Yeah, you'll have disadvantage on your disadvantage on stealth rolls if you don't take it off and wash it soon.
Gross.
Yes, you do note that every time you take a scroll from this, he takes a scroll and hands it to you from this wheelbarrow. It doesn't get any more empty.
Of course.
So we could be here for a long time, but go on.
I'd like to, since he's a master linguist, I would like to thank him for his wares in Goblin.
He will reply in Goblin and say, you are most very welcome. And goblins indeed are a very interesting set of creatures if you take the time to get to know them.
Yes,
It's
I
wonderful.
couldn't agree more.
It's wonderful.
that
We
is
will
Goblin
quickly
scroll.
look at his scroll.
He's repeating his
100%.
lines.
Sure, give me an intelligence check to try and comprehend that. Does linguist give you not linguist, does well-read give you an advantage on that?
It says you have read many texts in many different languages. You are often able to understand odd historical references or glean the meaning of runes, glyphs, and languages through their origins and history.
Intelligence check with advantage.
Yay.
Fantastic.
Always like some of those words.
Do you know I've been
familiar.
thinking about specifically in a couple of future campaigns banning comprehend languages and tongues, because I think the process of learning languages and trying to work them out is really interesting, and it sort of makes that a bit defunct. A 9, you got a few words, Obi, but only a few, and they didn't seem to make any sense running into each other. You sort of got the to, the and, the if, but none of the nouns in between. To the and if.
What are you talking? Why do you want to go to a baker?
But Sullivan, he sort of thanks you and mentions that he's very appreciative of scholars of the Goblin tongue. Not enough people study the language of the more monstrous races.
Agreed.
Sorry, I
Everyone
have a-
has value.
Sorry, Sullivan. And again,
I said, I agree, every race has value.
that they do. Zavril, you had a question?
Yeah, the language of the Drow, undercommon, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, technically, it's not, but
But it
D&D
is.
makes no discretion. There is a Drow
Okay.
tongue, but D&D makes no differentiation. So
Right,
I just
so-
using undercommon.
So I'd like to pick up a book on in this case specifically the Drow language, whether it's undercommon.
You can
or
just
whether it's-
borrow. You can just borrow the one that Laura's already purchased.
No,
Right,
no.
yeah.
Let him purchase another one. That's
He
his fault.
doesn't have another one.
Attention.
200 gold pieces was spent on one to learn the Drow tongue.
Right, okay, and I'll be reading from that one. Just looking further through the language list because there's a fucking lot here.
Yes, as far as you know, the only languages that might still be relevant beyond the tongue of the Drow and the tongue of the Shadowvale themselves, that could potentially be useful to you guys, is that of the Giants or that of the Elves. The Giants and the Elves are the only races to exist outside of Sogravia.
I wanted that giant boat.
The Giants live in the mountains along the border, and the specifically the Astral and Pallid Elves live in Yolenta, which is a series of
Did we
islands.
not have someone who speaks Elvish?
Yeah, of course
So
you do.
is
but
that just
I'm
standard
just saying.
Elvish or is that?
You
Uh,
have
yeah,
an astral
You have an Astral
That's why
Elf
I was
in your party.
confused.
I'm just saying that those are the only languages outside of Sogravia. Every other language would be sort of based in Sogravia, so whilst you might be able to speak to interesting NPCs, it's not going to further your cause in terms of the Shadowvale.
Okay, we should. Giant, probably good idea.
You wanted that, did you, Callum? There are two books on Giant. One is on the Giant tongue, but the other one is on
Foot.
the culture and traditions of the Giants.
We have to go talk.
It is 6 gold pieces and includes 3 recipes and 2 rhymes.
Whoa, yeah.
Do the recipes include potatoes?
No.
Oh wait, actually, that's a good question. Does he have any cookbooks?
Yes. He does.
Glacius,
He
get this,
has,
please.
Please, oh my word, get this.
He has Killian Wester's Royal Recipes. This is a large tome filled with over 100 recipes for wild boar, goose, and venison. Written by Killian Wester, a former royal chef. He also has the recipes and ruminations of one Dradil of Tethir. This is a book with food recipes from Dradil. Even a casual look will inform the reader that he was a wizard of somewhat addled mind.
I'll take him both, and if he has any more cookbooks.
Okay, 10 gold piece for the recipes and ruminations of Dradil of Tethir. That is there. And 195 gold pieces for Killian Wester's Royal Recipes.
Okay, I need to borrow 22 gold
Yeah,
pieces.
as stated, the group gold is sort of the standard gold you would spend. Your personal gold is much more for like in inns or giving gold to commoners, that sort of thing. Like you don't have to buy things with your common gold because nobody's got enough personal gold to do that. I don't think.
Okay.
Yeah. Some people might be hoarding it. I do see you over there, Fox. But yes.
What? Me? No.
Cool.
I have like
Um,
some gold on me for no reason.
So
2,000 for the heck.
Jeez, and I thought I had a lot by having like 700.
I'm just going to speed things up a little bit. There are 2 other books in this list that might be of interest to you guys. The first one is
We'll take it.
of interest to Allura. This is the 3 Rules to Poisoncraft. This tatty old tome is missing a number of pages, leaving whatever the 3rd rule of Poisoncraft is completely unknown. But the first 2, however, will grant you advantage on any alchemy or poison checks when creating recipes you don't know yet. And... yes, just to give you the full description, gives you advantage on alchemy or poison checks to learn to make potions or poisons that you've never made in the past. And the second one is that you may, when creating batches of poison, you may apply them 1 extra time. So if it has 6 uses, you may have 7, which is pretty relevant.
Damn.
And Moradin's Magical Bestiary is the other thing. It is only 2 gold pieces. This gives advantage on checks to understand the nature of any beasts that you might encounter that you do not recognize. Beasts not being monsters and creatures, but being specifically the enemy type beasts. So if you encounter any beasts in Mistralia, for example, it might give you advantage on understanding their nature. I don't know if you want it, but it's 2 gold pieces, so...
God, we have a library with us now. With all the books that we just bought.
Yeah, I mean, there's also, like, the Orcish cookbook and stuff.
Oh, well, you gotta get that.
How
Yeah, I
much
said
is the poison
every...
book?
Another 5 gold.
I said every cookbook he has, I'm buying.
Darth, I've got 106 cookbooks. You're not having them all. Because I'm going to provide the text for next week. These are going to be handouts with actual text in them.
Okay.
So I'm not writing you 106 cookbooks. You can fuck off. You can have all 3, and that'll do. And I will make, if they give you any benefit, I will make them on D&D Beyond. So that being said, if you are buying books, you must write down what they are, so that I can get that as a list. Yeah. Including languages.
Okay, I got those
cool.
2 giant books.
Great.
So
Go on.
I have. Does he have any books that are of particular curiosity that he either struggles to read or understand?
No.
Because they're.
He is a
difficult to be-
a cunning linguist with a mighty mind. He understands
Okay.
everything he's got.
Right. So no mysterious books that are much more difficult to figure out.
No.
Fair enough.
I think I've given you the only book I missed out was that Cobble book, which if you want it, Matt, it's 4 gold pieces. After that, yeah, I think we're going to move on. Otherwise, this random road encounter is going to last the rest of the campaign.
Give me more.
I literally have 8,600 books, so
Oh, we've got
Where's
4,000
the-
gold, so...
Yeah, where's the...
you've got 40,000
40,000
gold.
gold.
Yes, I'm
Gems and
obviously
backpacks to trade.
I'm not delving into like the legendary books and stuff, but yes. Anyway,
Where are the book hunters?
we may well have another encounter with Chomsky in the future, but for
Hello,
now, I
Chomsky.
think we will leave him there. He's enjoy your traveling in the road.
It was good to meet you.
It's such a beautiful night, and
It's morning now.
as he travels, it is worth mentioning that there is a slight sort of shine to his wolves as he walks, almost as if they're made of moonlight.
They're an illusion, aren't they?
No, they're very real. They're just they are lunar in some
What a
respect.
delightful
I want one.
Give me your dogs.
They are a manifestation of magic, I will tell you that. But considering we're probably not going to meet Chomsky again, you can find out that he's a lunar sorcerer. And that is a manifestation of Mordenkainen's faithful hound.
Wow.
Wait, do you have that spell?
It's a very powerful magical item, and it's mine. Fuck off.
Well, fuck you.
Yeah, he's summoning them with an item, and he's not giving it to you. Get your hell to Van Harnia, because literally all we had to do this session was walk 20 miles down the road. It's
We did it!
You did it.
What is?
Yeah.
Mission accomplished.
I'm moving the
Always
village.
said I couldn't read.
Can we get the words Ramsbottom on that so we know what that is? Otherwise, I'll never remember. Can I do
We
that?
can get rid of it now.
No, you want to know where Ramsbottom is in case you need to go back.
We're not even on that
we're
map.
Not, no.
Oh, you're not on that map?
I can see that there's a dead dude with a ring
What?
on the other map.
In Mistralia, we're gonna get that done one day.
Yeah, there are many things in Mistralia. But yeah, you make your way back to Van Harnia, and
We did it.
yeah, you get there and head to the Mage's Arcane to teleport to Carthan. Is that correct?
Yep.
Can we also tell somebody that, like, hey...
Elanvar.
Yeah,
You want to
so
report back to
one,
Andor.
yeah, one, that the job was done, but also two, that someone from inside Sogravia was casting, like, this darkness rune, and so we should be on the watch for
Okay.
that.
There is a reward for
Yay.
having done that. It's nothing
We get all the
exciting,
money back
guys.
we spent on books.
It's nothing exciting, guys. Bear with me. I will tell you. It is a small pouch containing 4 potions.
That's pretty exciting.
Is it? The first one is a oil of sharpness. Actually, that is quite good, to be fair.
Checkmate.
Yep. 2 regular potions of healing. And a potion of, is it mind control or mind reading? I never know which. Mind reading.
Mind control.
Yeah, no, that's
You
mind
drink
control.
it and you get mind controlled.
No. So 2 regular healing potions, 1 potion of mind reading, and 1 oil of sharpness, I think it's called.
We'll take it and.
Yeah. He just says, it's just a very standard Dawn Guard reward. Is because they don't have a huge amount of liquid assets, so to speak. So they don't always have money to give, but they do have plenty of extra potions. They still don't know why in the standard soldiers pack they give them a potion of detect thoughts. The soldiers have no idea what they're meant to do with it. It's really distracting if you drink it in combat, and not very useful if you don't. But it's in the standard soldiers pack, so they're forever giving them out as rewards. As you make.
The last potion, what was that, real quick? Mind what?
I think it's called mind reading, but
okay.
it gives detect thoughts. That's what it does.
Cool.
Yeah, here we go. Potion of mind reading.
And 2 standard healing potions. I'm just putting them in a loop.
Cool. Yeah. Well, with that, he is very grateful, and he lets you know that your friend left town.
Starling?
Which one?
Starling.
Oh.
She left with 12 dwarves. I think she's gone to Thraxton.
Oh, she's perfectly fine.
Party.
I think she left a bit of a mess.
Okay,
Might
she's
have
not
been
our
of
friend.
interest.
Let's go quickly.
This is the only way you're going to find out this information, so maybe don't go so quickly. The first assassin that came at Starling has been denied and was left dead outside the last flagon.
Good for her.
Yes. It wasn't killed by her. In fact, it was Torgar who wielded the axe that killed it.
I figured it was.
Yes,
It
a
was
group
the
of dwarves.
Aarakocras, or no?
No, this was not an Aarakocra. If you remember, she was particularly afraid of a bald man with strange tattoos on his head.
And red hands.
And red hands, indeed. It is not him. The person they sent after him was a Goliath. After her was a Goliath.
That's interesting.
Yes, indeed. Exactly what Matt said. They sent a Goliath after her. Subtlety wasn't his key, and the Gutbusters chopped him into pieces.
Well done, Gutbusters.
Okay. But with that, are we teleporting to Van Hania? To Carthan. Please don't go to Van Hania.
As we're
All
passing
right, let's
through
go to
that,
Van Hania.
Alora.
I would ask whoever is there at the front desk if Yen has returned in the last day or so.
No, you will receive a sending as soon as she arrives back.
Okay.
Specifically, Callum, I think it was. Was it Callum who was asking the questions? I think so, right?
Yeah.
It was you that was questioning Vorkan. Is that right?
I think it was.
It was
It
either.
was the group of us.
Yeah, I think we were all there.
Well, it certainly wasn't Obi. I know that Obi was rude. I think he was rude to Obi.
Never rude.
I think it was Glacius and Sullivan that were doing a lot of the talking during that.
Yeah, it would make sense to send to a Dawn Guard. So, yes, Sullivan, you will receive a sending specifically when Yen returns to Sogravia, wherever she returns. Assume it is in the future at some point. But with that said, are we zooming to Carthan? It is currently 5 a.m.
Yes.
Let's go to sleep.
Yes.
You've
We
just got up.
Woke up.
It's 5 a.m.
Yeah, well, you're just
We
going to have
just
an early
completely
night tonight.
fucked
Long
our
day.
sleep schedule.
You'll be fine. So, yep, as you arrive in Carthan at 5 a.m., there is a very, very sleepy mage on the desk next to the teleportation chamber. Just looks up. Name and business.
Shadowhunters.
Is that your name or your business?
Yes.
I'm Larry Gutbuster.
That's our name. Our business
alright.
is teleporting.
You're already here. What's your business in Carthan?
We want to teleport out of here.
What's your business in Carthan?
Oh.
We have a meeting with some members of the Mages.
Yes.
A strange way of putting it is the people you've got a meeting with have no idea
Exactly.
Yes,
But he
you-
doesn't know that.
They
He's
don't
just
know yet.
tired.
Your business is within the Magus Arcane, is that correct? Or any of your members?
Yes. I'll pull out that little.
Excellent. Right. Do you take full responsibility for the actions of your guests?
I guess so.
Callum's like,
Very well, thank you. You, and then points directly at Callum. You'll have to register that one, and points at Sid.
Ugh. Can Sid just wait outside?
Outside
the
Carthan?
city.
Oh no.
It is
I'm at
since
the building.
just visit your compatriots on the 4th floor. It's only since the somebody escaped with some
Oh right.
automated machines.
Yeah.
You just have to prove you're in full control.
All right. Copy. Can do.
And he sort of nods his head, and yeah, I think, given the heat and the time, that is the place we are going to stop. It is not my fault you didn't get much done.
Listen, we beat up darkness. We got lots of books. I think that's essential.
Productive.
I also think I didn't put us on the battle map for the battle on the stream, but never mind. We come to the timeless tradition of MVPs and... Oh, I don't know. Michaela, roll me a d8.
Oh gosh, a D8. It's 7.
7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Matt! Really?
Because he's gone.
Matt, you're up first. You're MVP.
MVP is what happened about 2 seconds ago when dude said, "What is your business?" and Callum so brotherly says teleportation after we already teleported.
Yeah, I'll give you that. And we will go clockwise today. Laura.
And to finish off that rule, nobody will know because it's in the darkness.
Yeah.
And then it was Sullivan walking out and Josh being like, "Is that it?" to the guy who was handing him a prize. It's like, "Here's your reward. Is that it?"
I believe he actually said, "Is that everything?" But yes. Michaela.
I really liked that spell that Fox used. That was super cool, doing all that radiant damage back at those guys.
I thought you meant Moonbeam for a second.
No, I agree.
Yeah, the moonbeam that hit Zavra was also fantastic.
It is so rare that, like, there's a damage vulnerability and one player is so specialized into that damage type, right? I hope that it felt rewarding for you, Jay, because obviously, like, everything's vulnerable to radiant, and you're just like, I can only do radiant damage. I know you've got a couple of other damage types, but in general.
Yeah, well, especially, like, because every time it did damage, I would get temp equal to the damage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, crazy with Circle of Crystals, right? Super cool spell.
Love it.
Good, I'm glad. I knew I wrote it for a reason. Josh.
I really liked the lead up to the combat and then the actual combat with the shadows. It was a lot of fun, and it's nice to have those kind of mechanics in a combat with like the darkness and stuff like that to keep everyone on their toes. I also really liked the removal of the curse. That was really cool. Yeah, I think that's it.
Good. Jamal.
I'm just gonna have to give this as a one which was most incredibly amusing and frustrating. You rolled a bajillion fucking crits in that
I
combat,
know.
and we rolled in general pretty much atrociously during the combat, and it felt absolutely harsh beyond all belief.
Well, usually it's the other way around.
Yeah.
Even so, like, you say I roll a lot of crits, I also missed a huge amount. There's a bite attack where they have like this long tongue and they like lash you in. It's so cool, and I didn't hit it once.
Yeah.
You know, and it was really quite deadly. It's dominate person. So like when you get bitten, you then act on their behalf for the rest of combat. Like that's it. That's all that would happen.
God.
Like there's a reason why I wanted Fox, because Fox is the one who's wrecking shit. So if I could get Fox, I could make Fox target you guys, and turning your healer on you seems really fun.
Seems cruel.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also would have given the player free reign to try and destroy their party, and, you know, that's kind of cool too. But yeah, so I rolled quite badly and quite well. But yeah, I feel you. Duff.
I really liked Moonbeam Scars. with the whole, several thing.
Yeah.
But then I also really like Sullivan punching a hole in the wall with the removed curse. And then afterwards, I was just like, wait, we should like look at that so we could just like study it and just like, nope, it's gone. It's just like, that's like the one time we didn't do that.
I mean, I think in some other way, though, like, you would want to remove it as soon as possible from a little village like this, before you had to go through that fight again.
That's fair.
Sitting down and making an etching of it for an hour. I know some of us would have liked to go through the fight again. Jack,
Let's go!
Our ever-expanding library of books.
Yeah.
I really like the traveling merchants. So a long time ago, 2 years ago, I wrote a series of item lists for the duck merchant. So this was a redeem back in the day that could be done by chat, where the duck merchant could appear between campaigns, and both sell all these items he had, but also sell items that the players in one campaign had sold to him. So we can like pass items from campaigns and stuff. A long time ago, it never really got used. I put it to the side, but I kept the tables that I had for it. And a lot of those are now single merchant tables for these traveling merchants you can meet on the road who will have different things to any of the stores. And the book list is generated mostly by Reddit, but also like it's got all my additions in it. So I really enjoy when they get used, but also when the players enjoy them. So I'm glad that that's a positive.
Hey, you got pretty mad that we were spending so much time there.
Well, no, it's just like I would like to have under 300 episodes of Sogravia.
Yeah.
But yeah, also
We're
I'm
going
just
to the library.
pretty mad that it's so fucking hot. That's where I'm at. I enjoyed a lot of the moments you guys said. I really enjoyed the just watching the transition of role for Fox from standard support healer to like a really strong damage dealer. Even if it nearly got Obi killed. One bad disadvantage roll and Obi could have been. But my MVP goes to a really odd moment where Michaela sort of nonchalantly was like, oh, I've got nothing better to do. Can I put my shield down in front of Obi? And it literally saved his life. If he had have used Consume Soul on the target that was down, it can only be used on an unconscious target, you would have had Obi with no mind. So you saved him with 6 armor class, so congratulations, have a card. It was really like, as I was rolling it, I was like, please don't hit. Because it is like, literally, it sucks their soul out. The creatures are based on Dementors from Harry Potter, so yeah. Anyway, so knowing that Obi's had a quick escape, I think that's where we're going to end. If you guys would like to say goodbye,
Bye.
Bye.
we shall see you soon.